for the problem you were asking about, number 32. It says use a sketch of f to evaluate the four definite integrals on top, given the statement on the left. So the picture that you had drawn it as a linear function, like x plus 3, or possibly even, I think you drew x minus, negative x plus 3. And f of x equals 3 is actually a constant function, so it's just a horizontal line at 3. So the reason the integral from 0 to 2 is 6 is because between 0 and 2 there are, it's a base of 2 units and a height of 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, or in other words, there's like 6 boxes if you divided them into boxes. From 1 to 4, the base from 1 to 4 is a base of 3 and a height of 3, so 3 times 3 is 9. From 5 to 1, it's just backwards from 5 to 1, so remember when it's upside down, it's negative. So the area in between 1 and 5 has a base of 4 and a height of 3, so 4 times 3 is 12, and it's negative because of that integral being upside down. And then the absolute value of the integral from 9 to negative 9, the distance between 9 and negative 9 is 18 units, and it's backwards from from a larger number to a negative number, from a larger number to a smaller number. So 18 is the base, and it's still a height of 3, and so 3 times 18 is 54. Now it's backwards from 9 to negative 9, so technically it's negative 54, but because of the absolute value bars at the very end, it becomes a positive 54. For this one, a is a constant. It tells us right here, a is a positive constant. So since a is a constant, we don't necessarily know how high it is. We just know that it's still a constant function. So it is whatever the base is times the height. So since this one has a base of 2 units from 0 to 2, it's just 2 times the height of a. This one has a base of 3 units from 1 to 4, so it's 3 times the height of a. This one has a base of 4 units times a, and it's negative since it's backwards. And this one has a base of 18 units times a, and then positive because of that absolute value. This is a negative square root of a function. So negative square root of a function is a square root function that's been reflected over the x-axis. So it looks like that. From 0 to 2, it is a base of 2, and it is... Just trying to look at the... What's the integral, though? I don't think these answers are correct, because the integral of a, oh, sorry, just kidding. Never mind. I lied. The square root of x would look like that, but the square root of a, since a is a constant, is just the square root of a number. So for example, if a was 4, this would just be the square root of 4, which is 2, so that would just be negative 2. So even though it's a square root, it's still a constant function. So it's still a constant function just like these two were. So the fact that it's negative is why it's negative 2, and then the square root of a, negative 3, just like the second row. So I hope that that helps to answer these questions. These ones down below are similar, just graphing them. This is a line. This is an absolute value function. This is an absolute value within an absolute value function. Same thing here. So just graphing them and then finding the area using geometric shapes. Let me know if you need to explain, if I need to explain that anymore.